We're on the way to the ultimate of ancient Greek sites, Delphi, the most magical site in Greece. Once home to the greatest fortune teller of all time, it enchants visitors to this day. Delphi lies deep in the heart of the mountains of central Greece, due north of Athens. The ancient Greeks saw Delphi as the center of the world. Legend has it the great god Zeus released two eagles, one from the east, the other from the west. They met right over Delphi. A sacred stone representing the belly button of the world marks the spot. Nearby stood the temple dedicated to Apollo, god of light, music, and song. And within waited the Oracle, a priestess about 50 years old who relayed the word of her master, the god Apollo himself. People would journey from far and wide to ask her to foretell the future.
What actually happened to her is very, very mysterious and unclear. She certainly did undergo some profound kind of transformation to underline the mysteriousness of the occult. She sat on this tripod, a cauldron placed upon the tripod, and somehow or other steam or smoke arose around her, and then she went into some kind of trance or hypnotic state and uttered these strange cries. There's been a lot of speculation in modern times as to exactly what she was doing. Had she taken hallucinogenic drugs? That's been suggested. Even recently, some archaeologists have thought perhaps the very walls of the prophetic cavern emitted some kind of intoxicating gases.
It seems that perhaps, because there are now fissures where sulfur does emerge, that the priestess may have gone into a trance either by breathing sulfur, or another tradition tells us by chewing laurel leaves.
Delirious, she muttered gibberish. Apollo's priests would then translate her ravings into obscure advice. No wonder suppliants got a little confused.
One of the most famous examples of a prophecy at Delphi was the prophecy given to the Athenians when they faced an invasion by the Persian Empire, and they said to Apollo, "What are we going to do?" And Apollo said, "Your wooden walls will be safe." And so the Athenians went back home and they scratched their heads and they debated what Apollo meant. And the great Athenian statesman Themistokles said, what Apollo means is that we should abandon the city and entrust our safety to our fleet, our wooden fleet. And indeed, that is what the Athenians did, and they beat the Persians, and the rest, as they say, is history.
The oracle also served as an ancient advice columnist. Love, marriage, and business deals all were clinched on the strength of the priestess's divine prophecies.
There was practical advice being dispensed by the priests, but using this ecstatic burbling from the recess of the temple. This was the oracle experience, and you had to pay for it. And if you didn't like what you heard, you could pay again and try it again and see if you got a different answer.
When you get to Delphi today, do like the ancient pilgrims. Take a walk past the sacred spring where they purified themselves. Then on to the sanctuary of Athena, most famous of the Delphic sites. In ancient times, it was a rest stop before the arduous climb along the sacred way to the temple of Apollo and the oracle itself. A visit is best early morning or evening. Once there, if you stand among the ruins of the temple, you can question the ghost of the oracle. Who knows, you might even get an answer.